What's going on, America? This is Kevin once again from Kevin's Corner. And I couldn't let this guy get away with this. Once again, we're back here to discuss my second least favorite person on Fox News. And it's a tight one. It's a tight one between Shep and Whining Juan Williams, okay? Every time Shep comes on, I hit the mute button. But then with Shep, I already know Shep he might as well just be working for CNN, MSNBC. But Whining Juan Williams is amazing to me. How this guy, they'll go around the whole panel on the five, and people will make practical, logical responses to things that are going on. And they will make cases where I go, that's an airtight case. There's no way Juan Williams can see this any differently than the way it's just been presented. And somehow, Whining Juan Williams will have a problem with facts and information, and will put some type of spin on it that I go, is Juan just dumb? Or is he, it's like he's purposefully saying, I don't care if everything I say defies logic, reason, facts, any of that stuff. I'm going to have to oppose it because it supports Donald Trump. And see, I come to the conclusion that these commentators, these liberal commentators, the Democrats, and the funky whole liberal media, they're not dumb, okay? Democrats and Republicans, I look at them kind of like, okay, as say they were superheroes. You'd have the Justice League, and then you have the Legion of Doom, okay? They all got powers, but one try to use their powers for good, the other one uses it for evil, And I'm thinking to myself, these Democrats are not dumb. These commentators are not dumb. And they've been given power, but they're using their power for evil when they know the right thing to say, but they just say, you know what, I'm going to say the opposite because it supports Donald Trump, and I can't do that. So I got to come up with something that doesn't even sound practical or it's totally illogical, but I'm going to have to make it sound good and make it stick. And that's what Juan Williams tried to do yesterday on the 5. Somebody sent me the video, and I can't let Juan get away with this one. Y'all ready for this? Let's check it out.
Or I guess maybe because of their own confirmation bias, they selectively hear something. And then, you know what the next strategy is? Okay, so they know that they're wrong. They know that they made a mistake. What they're going to say is, well, Trump has said bad things before.
That's what they do.
And he will probably say them again. So it doesn't really matter that they're wrong here. That is the same argument that is used defending hoax hate crime.
Now, listen to what he just said, okay? The funny part is Juan just heard this man say this, and he's going to fulfill the prophecy in about 2 minutes. He's going to walk right into what this man just said.
Oh, that racist graffiti was fake, but somewhere around the country, it is real. That's the last argument they're going to have to defend this, and it's going to be hilarious. This has been done a lot.
Hilarious.
I always credit, I'll give time to other people. But
hurry up.
As
now listen to what Jesse says.
And did a very good job of mentioning.
Break it down, Jesse.
Just amount of heinous crimes committed by MS-13, Kimberly. I mean, you've had experience with that.
Now, Kimberly's going to give a great argument, y'all. Great argument.
Like that.
No, absolutely. And just saying, over the years. And
now, check it out. See, what Kimberly does is Kimberly is now going to create the image. An image that is so horrible that it would be almost impossible to defend. So I'm thinking to myself as I'm listening to this, there's no way Juan Williams could weasel out of this one. He's going to have to finally tap out and be like, you know what, guys, you're right. That makes sense. Let her prepare her case. Drop it, Kimberly.
I'll tell you, this is by far the worst, most notorious gang that I've ever come across. And that's even with the Aryan Brotherhood having a contract out on me to have me killed. It's expired. But when this
that wasn't my fault, by the way.
Tell us.
I tried to talk
Tell
them
us.
out of it.
Come on.
You were too cheap.
Enough of the chit chat. Let's
So
get
this
to
is a
it.
prime example of media bias exposed, right? Because you see a situation like this, because the level of vitriol that they have and the angst and upset towards the president, they just took it too far. And they tried to say, oh, look at this is a situation where he's being racist, talking
Over the
about this.
top.
I don't think the president took it far enough. saying animals. And I'll tell you why. Because when you see their handiwork and you're actually at the crime scenes, you see these photos, you talk to the family members of MS-13 and other gang members that commit these heinous atrocities, just vicious, vicious gangs and killings, showing no regard for human life, use of the machete. Another favorite is they love to put nails on baseball bats to beat people to death. The types of crimes they commit, the young girl who's a teenager who they felt disrespected, the gang leader shrine to a demon, and family members not even able to identify their children because of the state that their bodies are left in after dealing with these guys. You know what? Not even animals, not wild animals even behave like this.
Now, these animals kill for a purpose, right? Now, they don't even know why they killed. They're like, I feel like something's in me. I need to eat. I'm going to attack that sheep and eat it, okay? These people kill on purpose. Now, you would think after she paints such a vivid image of how horrible these people are, you would think Juan would just come in and say, you know what? I agree. But listen what Juan does.
Really think about the facts and about what the president was saying. He was showing a respect for victims, respect for law enforcement, and a total, flat out, saying I have no tolerance for heinous crimes committed, and I look to public safety and to law enforcement to do something about this.
Now that sounds too much like right.
You've worked in the mainstream media before.
Here it comes.
Print media. Any excuse for something like this? Is it sloppiness or is it something more, do you think?
Yeah, it's called accuracy.
Whoa, what do you mean by that?
Because it's accurate. I mean, the thing about this is, I'm loving this because you guys are...
Hold on. Did you hear that, man? My mouth, when I first heard that, was so wide open for about a good 3 minutes. Like I was on a roller coaster going downhill, like, oh! It was unbelievable. It was almost like I saw a ghost. How could he say such a thing?
Like feeding the grievance on the right by saying, oh yeah, that terrible mainstream media, how could they say this?
So now this has nothing to do with how heinous these people are. You know what this is about? Feeding the grievance on the right. This is about appealing to Donald Trump's base, right? He's throwing out things like these people are animals, not because their behavior, not because they cut people up, not because they cut a man's heart out, not because they cut a person's head off, not because they raped little girls, none of that stuff. No, that's not why. He said that simply to appeal to his base of all upper class white men, right? Now, I happen to be just as horrified at those descriptions, and I'm a black middle class man. But yet, Whining Juan here has pity and sympathy, and he's trying to flip this and make it seem like that this is some diabolical scheme that Donald Trump is pulling just so he can make his base say, yay. No, what he does is he says things is real and his base doesn't agree for agreeant's sake. We agree because it makes sense, Juan Williams.
They've misinterpreted the president. You know what? The president called people animals. And then you say, oh, no, it wasn't people. He was referring, to the Hannibal Lecters of the world, this MS-16 gang. Well,
13.
13, whatever.
Look, he can't even get it right. Huh? The M16 gang. He refers to the 9/11. He's throwing stuff out there. Yeah, the AR-15 gang. Yeah, he's referring to them as animals. Get it right, first of all, Whining Juan. But secondly, this man acts as if there's no legitimacy to that statement. Just like they tried to make it seem like saying certain countries was S-hole countries. Like that, he just pulled that one right out the air, huh? Yeah, that was one of those like, you know what? That place right is over there. It's a paradise. It's a paradise. Everybody wants to go there and stay. Nobody's trying to leave those countries. There's no poverty. There's no crime. None of that stuff. However, I'm going to make up a term that doesn't apply to this, not even applicable to that country. I'm just going to call that beautiful paradise a crap hole country. Just like he's trying to make us believe that all these are nice citizens. They're not even illegal immigrants. They're just undocumented citizens that happen to be over here, that happen to like to chop heads off and cut hearts out, and yet somehow Donald Trump uses such a heinous word to describe their behavior. Animals? How dare he?
So fine. You know what? That's not
They're
fun.
growing.
You do not talk about other people as animals, and I don't care who you are or who they are. You do not become a monster by demonizing your opponent.
Okay, so
that's a mistake.
Oh, far be it from us to call a spade, and that's the problem with the left. Yeah, up is down, down is up, right is left, left is right. You can't call stuff what it is. Oh, what do you mean this person ran in and blew up a whole building and yelled out Allah Akbar when they did it? But let's not call them radical. Okay, let's not call them a radical terrorist, Islamic terrorist. No, let's just call them a lone wolf. Yeah, what do you mean? These people chop up people and attack people like animals, and they do stuff and walk away with no conscience. But yet, let's not call them animals. That's horrible. You don't call any human being animals. See, here's the problem with this. Apparently, Juan ain't been through nothing. What I mean by that is when you see the worst of humanity, if you can't recognize the difference between human behavior and animal behavior, see, that's a term that fits it. You don't just throw out terms and you say, wow, that doesn't even fit this person's behavior. That's an applicable term based off of the behavior. One, okay? So for you to say that these are animals and they're displaying animalistic behavior, that's a legitimate call. But according to Juan, no, you shouldn't call nobody no animal. Unless somebody did that to Juan's children. Somebody did that to one of Juan's family members, and let's see him going to court. And if the judge say, you know what, son, by killing Juan's family member over there, you know what, you're an animal. You mean to tell me Juan will get up in court and defend that person in front of the, hey, judge, wait a minute, you're being a little harsh. They did kill a family member of mine, but let's not go too far with the language, okay? Now, they're still a human being, okay? I don't care about what they did. Call them a human being. No, Juan would say, you hit it right on the head, Judge. They are animals. Let's continue with Juan.
Hold on, I want to finish. And you know what?
I bet you do want to finish.
I think they're terrible, but I don't think that...
Wait a minute, you called them terrible? What?
Terrible.
How insulting
See the hypocrites? Yeah, see, now, if I wanted to be a real, social justice warrior, if I was a snowflake, using any negative term towards somebody might be, offensive. Terrible? How could you call me terrible? All I do is steal for a living. All I do is beat on my girlfriend sometimes. I don't hit her every day. So why would you call me terrible? All I did was shot people and I sell drugs. But I'm not terrible. Because, see, I'm offended by that. I'm a street pharmaceutical rep. And don't call me terrible, okay? I don't steal. I'm like Robin Hood, okay? I take from the rich, give to the poor. But don't call me terrible. See, when you start doing that, you know what we fall into? The situation we're in now as Americans, where you can't say things to people. You have a kid that's acting bad, and you say, stop being bad. Don't say that to him. And then they have a confusion on what is bad and good behavior, because you're not allowed to identify it and call it out for what it is. Let's wrap this up.
Call them terrible. See, that's hurtful.
I tell you what's hurtful. I call you hilarious. So
Now watch Juan do exactly what he said earlier. Here it is.
A president who says that people who are coming to this country who aren't white are coming from S-hole countries.
There it is.
The president talking about people coming from Mexico. Murderers, rapists, right?
Some of them are good people.
Oh, sorry. Some of them are good people. This is exactly the kind of excuse you hear from the right wing.
That was his quote that I was referring
Okay,
to you.
so I'm going to have to wrap it up with that last statement, because, see, here's the thing. Earlier, he said exactly what they do. They throw that out there. It's not applicable. It's not accurate. It's fake news. It's to create a bad narrative. And then they try to walk it back by saying, well, look what the president said before. Huh? Even though he didn't mean it this time, but look what he said before. The same thing Juan just did. Now, the crazy part about it is what he went back and referred to. Oh, he called Mexicans rapists. He called them murderers and drug dealers. Was the same thing that they just did the other day, which is take the statement out of context. Juan just did. He duplicated it. He went back to another situation that they did the exact same thing then as they did the other day when they said the president called immigrants animals. Because on that same day, he was referring to the Mexican government that was allowing illegal immigrants to cross the border, and they knew about it, wasn't stopping it, even though it was affecting us. And he said, and they ain't sending us their best, they're sending us their worst. Context, one, he was talking about illegal immigrants. Two, he also distinguished the difference between the fact that, yeah, there's some good ones to come over, but Mexico ain't trying to get rid of all their good citizens. They doing what England did when they sent all their criminals to Australia. They saying, look, take your problems and become somebody else's problem. So yeah, we might lose 15 good ones, but we're going to lose about 300 bad ones. And then he qualified it. He said, they're not sending us their best. They're sending us their worst. They're sending us rapists, drug dealers, murderers, and he said, and some are good people. Now, media did the same thing then. Left all of the leading context completely out. And they started the whole narrative right when Donald Trump said they're sending rapists, drug dealers, murders. Now, that's been 1 year ago and some change. But Juan is still using that as evidence and support of his bogus claim that Donald Trump shouldn't have called these people animals. He just ran it back. I'm going, Juan, you're the worst. The worst, Juan. Absolute worst. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I allowed to call you the worst? Is that too harsh of a term? I mean, are we not allowed to call commentators who get on TV and just spew nonsense the worst? Are you too sensitive to take that, Juan? If so, so what? You're the worst, Juan. The worst. Whining Juan Williams. Get him out of there. I hate to have to do that, y'all. I don't like when y'all see that side of me. I'm trying to be more, but sometimes when Juan, he take me there. I'm trying. God bless you. You've been listening to Kevin's Corner. If you like this video, hit like, share it. I just gotta expose this kind of garbage that Whining Juan just tried to throw down our throats. I know the difference between eating garbage and eating steak, and that was garbage. Now, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. If you want to support Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom to do so. And check me out on Wednesday night, 7:30, my live radio blog talk show. See you next time in Kevin's Corner. God bless.